He brought me this far.
Hoping and praying one day in every black community there will be a circle of brotherhood, and that's my dream.
Lord have mercy, we really thirsty, need our fair share of the land. It's kinda crazy, seeing the white man's got the plan. I know you got the whole wide world in your hand. I'm only asking that you put some cash in our hand. I'm calling all the black millionaires to come home. I promise you, we gon' help you build right at home. Killing the lies that the black man don't care. That fake news, that assessment really ain't fair. Cause we been sweating all this blood in our equity. One brother, one hood, rebuild our community. Cause all the trapping and gun clapping is played out. We bout to build a black Wall Street in the South. From Miami to Mobile and worldwide. The black man is getting wise, still we wise. The Fourth Amendment that passed and now it's all good. Ex-cons can finally vote up in our hood. With one voice, one mind, and one vision. Young kings, it's our time, so pay attention.
I have a dream, you have a dream, that we can be in unity.
The Liberty City that we know today, high crime, high poverty, really terrible housing conditions, high levels of disengagement and disenfranchisement. It is not a place where we rely on for high voter turnout and high voter participation. We gotta empower people. That history needs to come back.
Let's take our crown to the right, stretch it out.
The Circle of Brotherhood, we are a volunteer organized group of primarily black men from all walk of life. Some of us are from the streets, some of us are from the suites, some are Muslims, some are Christians, some are activists. Some people work in an office, a 9 to 5, some people run their own businesses, but we're collectively united together to solve our own community problems. We've been in existence as an organized group of men since 2012, and the dedication and the volunteer hours and times that men have spent has proven to political leadership that not only are they serious, they're not going anywhere, but wow, they're effective. Some things are just about repetition and training. We've been so used to doing things the wrong way that when we're trying to do it the right way, our mind's like, yo, what you doing? You tripping. It's not always the complicated things that we need to be including into our life to have a better life. Make sense?
We're gonna be our own directory today, all right? So we wanna introduce ourselves and introduce what we do so that we know what you do and know that we can tap into you if we need your gifts and your talents.
I do landscaping and groundskeeping for the City of Miami, Miami-Dade County.
I work at the airport.
I'm an accountant, current firefighter paramedic.
I work for the City of Miami CRA.
I hired 60 kids this summer to get them off the streets.
I used to be cancerous to my community. I found the cure. I am my
How many of y'all remember the shooting that took place in Liberty Square where 4 young men were shot and 2 lost their lives? We stepped back and took a look at our whole community, said, what do we really need to do? And we developed a plan from there. And it seemed like for the first time in a long time, a lot of our political leaders and officials were really ready to listen. Wait, back up. Some of y'all ain't been down this road before, right? When you come with a real solution, but you ain't got no real time to make nothing for real happen. And then we end up going into a vicious cycle of trying to get the problem solved in our community. We promise not to do that. Who do we serve?
Our community.
Brotherhood. One brother.
One hood.
Who do we serve?
Our community.
Who do we serve?
Our community.
Clap it up if you're still here.
We're in Miami Gardens, man. We're at the 7th annual Trayvon Martin Peace Walk, Peace Talk. This is Servant Minister Anthony Durden, representing the Circle of Brotherhood, Black men solving our own community problems.
Yeah. Y'all are stepping on. Make some noise again for Delta Sorority!
Well, we just want to send a clear message out, and we want people to get involved and participate and not just like something on social media.
When black people have memory, people tend to get mad. Why can't you get over it? Because we ain't over it. Because it ain't over. Because it's still going on. Because the Trayvon Martins of the world are still being subject to vicious acrimony, white supremacy, social injustice, and blackface. Want to have a black face but don't want to have a black body. Want to have a black face but don't want no black spirit. Want to have a black face but don't want no black consequences. And so I'm here to remind you, to remind us that Trayvon is still real.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
And that means you can't just come to the picnic, you just can't come to the rally, you gotta rally yourself and get to that voting booth. That's why black women have saved us in America. Black women voted Doug Jones in down in Alabama so that for the first time in 20 some odd years, a Democratic senator came from Alabama. Don't just go to church on Sunday. Don't just pray on Wednesday prayer meeting. Don't just go to choir rehearsal. Get off of your behind and get out here to make sure that justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Peace.
Our electoral outcomes really do turn on turnout. There's not a lot of incentive to participate in the process because these 4-year and 2-year election cycles, to you, they can come and go and your life never changes. We can be as frustrated, we can march all day, we can protest all day, we can make phone calls and tweet all we want. But until we actually capture the seats of power and the votes to actually make the change, we're gonna find ourselves in this perpetual cycle.
What would make you choose to starve yourself?
9 members of the Circle of Brotherhood, a Miami-based nonprofit organization, have been on a hunger strike for the past 6 days protesting gun violence. Today, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez and Police Chief George Colina visited the group's camp to offer their support.
Hey, Brady, that's my nephew, the second one right there, in front of you. No.
Our immediate goal is to create that internal dialogue. So many people have been desensitized to the issue of gun violence, particularly when it happens in urban communities. So not just to re-stimulate that conversation, but to also bring national and international awareness to an issue and to connect people to collaborate together on it.
The goal is awareness. The goal is awareness, man, to bring attention to a dying need. It's been a very personal and emotional experience for me to see these shirts hanging on, the precious lives that were lost right here. I was actually at the bedside when the doctors walked in and pronounced him dead when they pulled the plug. This is an epidemic. It's just like the border wall is such a big deal to the government. They recognize that as an emergency. We recognize that our young lives that are being lost every day in our communities is just important.
Because it says he was missing.
Yeah.
Does that mean he was missing?
No, that means they're missing him. He died and his family misses him.
This is a lot of people.
Okay, so the only thing that got shot is legit, they just hit his car. That was it.
1232, show you online, make it a 13. 1232.
We responded to a 30 shot spotter, where it's like 9 rounds, then 11 rounds. So we just lawfully just detaining him to see, figure out what's going on. The 3 is
boom, it's like boom,
yeah.
boom, boom. Looked at his thing and said he can't come over here. Right. So where he at now? He around the corner for this man house, Peter. Right around, I can show you.
There's no way he got out.
Okay. Guess 13, 25.
There's no way he left that quick.
Avenue is going to be referenced.
You gotta be crazy to do the job.
Our child's father, by he's received a delayed black male, black shirt.
Pulse 80, respiration 14. Looking good, baby, looking good. I feel good, buddy. Looking good. Thank you.
This day 16. For the last 16 days, we've only drinking water. Going strong, feeling strong, ready to see major changes in our community.
Most of the problems we have in our community right now is because we don't know how to resist an urge. Your stomach is your first appetite. If you can get control of your stomach, you can get control of all the other appetites. You can start letting the other anger and them kind of things go. Assalamu alaikum, dear family.
Show determination, you know, what we can do if we come in unity and we really want to do it.
In Florida, I got sued by the NRA and the Second Amendment Foundation because the Florida legislature passed a law that said no local government official can vote to implement laws that impact guns in any way, shape, or form. Suing me over my refusal to repeal a city ordinance in my city which simply says you cannot shoot guns in city parks. Can't shoot guns in parks where our kids play and our families picnic. And that was so radical a notion in the state of Florida that it has a chilling effect. These people elect elected officials to go into the seats of power to change their communities, their neighborhood, society for the better. The Circle of Brotherhood starved himself out to bring attention to gun violence in Liberty City. And what we're now telling them is that as much as you want me to legislate and as much as I want to take steps to make our community safer for all of us, the legislature has put a handcuff on me and said, no, thank you. And so why would I go out and vote if I send people to make change and change never comes?
your hand.
Sam, you might want to go with him on the tour.
All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, let me get one back there. Come on. Right here. Come on.
We are not just about school shootings, as I stated before. This is about shootings on our streets, shootings in our mosques, shootings in our churches. This isn't about mass shootings. This is about everyday shootings that are causing everyday problems.
I think the two most dangerous, murderous episodes in our country are mass shootings and urban violence.
Yeah.
And now look at them at the same table.
At the same table.
Right. That got to be the little short rail.
Yeah.
The last experience that I was incarcerated, I was actually locked up with my nephew. And my nephew, I would stare at my nephew every night. You know, my nephew, I put diapers on my nephew. So I would sit up in my bed and cry because I was like, you know, I gotta break this curse.
As we build a coalition together, as we try to connect both of our communities, it's important for us to just unify on these issues because we have to be strong together because the opposition on this is already beating us. And as long as we stay divided, we won't be able to win.
I feel that the United States of America is very divided. We have divided each other through race, our social, economic classes, religious background. We have segregated ourselves. And what we're seeing right now is the byproduct of that separation. This conversation that we're having is about our people and our community. So, you know, we don't want to exclude nobody from the conversation of violence and gun violence. And we would definitely love to see a more unified America.
This weekend, 9 men in Miami ended 22 days of self-imposed starvation. Their sacrifice to draw attention to one of our community's most egregious failings, shootings, sudden loss by gunfire. That should already have had full attention, but sadly, it does not.
I just can't. I just had to come and hug you next today. You all right? You sure? Because you were so heavy on my heart this morning. That's why I had to come and hug you next. I was just trying to do it.
You're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
You have to go get her hair done and then nails done. I don't know if...
Yeah, I just had to come and hug you, baby.
Look at your neighbor. Tell your neighbor, delayed prayer doesn't mean denied answers. I need you to know everything that twinkles ain't gold. And God will let some stuff shine in your face that will draw you out of your place. And when you're out of there, you get dragged, you get walked on, talked about, stabbed in the back, abused, everything you can think about. Evil. That's what happens when you go for the twinkle and the tingle. He's able! He's able! God will make a way! Yeah!
One brother, one hood. One brother, one hood. Who do we serve?
Our community.
Who do we serve?
Our community.
Clap it up and we still here.
Yeah!
Little one, whoever you are. Whoever you are.
And the people were captured and placed aboard the ship. Even the great eagle was captured.
Their skin may be different from yours, so that means that there's going to be other kids that don't look like you, huh?
He says, we are not chickens. He said, we are eagles. You have the power to fly. All you have to do is flap your wings and you will soar. Ooh-wee.
So we know you're gonna grow up one day, right? Yeah. How many people ready to grow up? Y'all ready to grow up? All right.
He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. Come on.
Guess what? Each and every one of you are geniuses. That means you are very smart. You are very smart. You are very smart. You are smart. You are smart. You are smart. You are smart. I know you're the teacher, but you're smart.
Well, I think the impact, if I would have to summarize, I would say that we spoke to the heart of our community, and that, you know, we had a conversation with our community to demonstrate love. In order for our community to move into a higher understanding of itself, it has to be love demonstrated. They have to see that by us. Because it's our community, it's our people, they're our children. People think that we don't care about our community. We're gonna smash that shit.
The people lucifying us, and at the same time, the people crucifying us. But they know we timekeepers, the crown people, Jehovah's Witnesses and brown Jesus. They know it. So are you trying to get this provolone? They tapping your mobile phones with planet colonial chromosomes. So are you trying to be a mortgage loaner? They'll slide up on you and turn you into an organ donor. Out of bounds, you get drenched, shit. 100 miles, 4 miles on some lynch kit. Don't trust them, brother. Nah. See, that's that Willie Lynch kit. If you don't know, get it to him. Here's the Lynch Willie kit. Lynch. We keep the young against the old against the young. And once we keep them divided, they'll never be one. You gotta keep all them blacks from them red brothers. And all them bum old brothers from getting bread, brothers. All put it together, they'll be booting at each other. And in 100 years, we'll have them shoot.